Welcome everybody, it's Crisis169. Welcome to another flashback Friday night. It's Thursday, almost 11 o'clock. Just sitting on vacation and I'm not getting off work. And normally I'll be getting off work on 3 o'clock today. But since I'm on vacation, I'm going to do it early and post it and upload it when I'm done. It's live for anybody, back on the internet. Talking about 3DO. And what you might think of what the hell is 3DO? Well, some games like Army Men, games like that were created by a company called 3DO. 3DO was actually a console at one time. It was called a Panasonic 3DO, a multimedia player 3DO. Of course, it played a lot of burned games, porn and crap like that on there. Because the game was very easy to play pirate games on and movies on. It had very little of any type of regulations, we're gonna make sure games are par or movies, whatever. 3DO was trying to be like a VCR back then. The VCR is hard to understand for youngsters out there. If you're below the age of 20 or 30, you may not know what the hell a VCR is. Most of your kids now watching your TV, going to school on computers now, or watching your shows on internet. Back in that time, back on the early 90s, the 3DO was actually the brainchild of one of the founders of EA, Electronic Arts, who, EA, EA, it has no games. The joke is EA. Now EA is a private company, technically, if you say that. Back then, the co-founder was actually the creator, one of the co-creators of 3DO. And their premise was what the analogy was, I have a VCR cassette of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It doesn't matter if you have a Zenith or a Panasonic or a Sony or whatever. This VHS tape will fit into that VCR player and play the movie. Doesn't matter if it's it's not tied to one or the other type of format where it didn't matter. Same with DVD players. Now HD, Blu-ray, Ultra HD, yes, no, we'll get into a little more shadier water with that. But if you go back to where it was standard DVD and VHS, DVDs all played on one DVD system, didn't matter what it was. Multi-one, disc one, or single disc one, didn't matter. Same with the VCR cassette tapes, or VCR cassettes. That being said, though, the 3D was like, why? Why do we have to have multiple formats of one thing? And they went to, of course, Activision. They went to EA. Of course, the company was halfway co-owned by the guys who started 3DO, and they're on board supporting games for it. And what the 3DO was trying to become was an all-in-one machine, like the Xbox tried in 2013. Xbox One started to become, where they were gone to Sega, and Sega was tempted. Sega was tempted to do it off the bat. They were tempted to go battle basically with the Sega Genesis, battle out 32-bit battle with the CD, and create games on this format for the 3DO. It was supposed to be the only console you had where it played Super Nintendo disc games, Sega disc games, and Activision, EA, and probably even 3DO games. All companies will buy on it and get it, and this will be the console you have. Okay. So you have all you need. And every few years, they'll up the ante of the disk drive, make it more appealable, faster processing power. They have HD DVD format, Blu-ray format, whatever. But that was what the 3DO was trying to become. It's a all-in-one media. It's a all-in-one system. It wanted to become. The logic was we have multiple formats for this and the other. Why? You have cartridges, you have all this stuff. It's easy to feature. And then with Sega about it, there's Sega on board, and if Sega went on board with EA or in the pocketbook as well, it would have been a lot more hard for Nintendo to fight. And say Activision jumped on board to say, Ubisoft did as well. And of course, Nintendo would jump on board, and that's a wrap. It's over. 3DO is the format of all systems. And you're like, oh no. Sony come in and just go on a Gatling gun like in Predator and just waste the lands and kick ass and take names. I'm gonna tell you right now, if Nintendo and Sega and the rest of the developers jumped on 3DO, Sony would have had 2 drops of piss of a chance to poke a hole and become the third or the major player. Because if all winner, Sony would be making games for the 3DO and putting them on there. That's how I'm thinking, maybe some universe far, far away, some alternate time zone, time warp, that's the case. You're playing your Xbox Live on the 3DO machine or whatever, 3DO Live, they don't call it. But that was the way it was. And of course, Panasonic let different companies, 3DO company. Panasonic is a notorious one. They made a multiple ones. It came out costing $600-700 at first, and that was a lot of money back then. Of course, they got cheaper, $200-300, as the bargain bin ones came out. A lot less powerful, but still having the same type of play. Less features, like with the PS3 fat ones, 80 and 60 gigabyte ones were top of the line. They had back compatibility, PS2 games, and off disc, play it. And the newer ones didn't have that. Why well, strip it out, make it cheaper. So this flashback video here is dedicated to the fact that 3DO went bust maybe about 8-9 years ago. They finally went out of business. It's just shriveled up and died. The games like Army Man and games like that were weird, but they were fun to play. Dreamcast, PlayStation, even the original Xbox had a thing. And I remember playing Battle Tanks on the Dreamcast that was for 3DO. And the games were good. And they were decent games, they were good games, they were fun. But with everything comes to an end. And after a while, even the magazines said that the 3DO was the next big thing. It was powerful. It was almost as powerful as the original PlayStation. But because we're having enough companies behind it, money's drying up, EA was kind of on the kilter there. They couldn't grab Sega or Nintendo while hook them in and drag them in. Like, Scorpion, like, get over here. They couldn't get them, and they're trying to. Like, you guys bow out with your consoles, make CD games for this, and maybe they'll have the second one with add-on with a cartridge from Nintendo, so they won't be, totally going away from it. Because, you still had what happened with the PlayStation still in the taste and mouths of Nintendo executives. And this is a little bit before that. This is almost around the time it was happening. But the PlayStation came out way later, maybe about a few months, a year later. So that timeline, if Nintendo went on with 3DO, PlayStation never would have existed. Can't forget that one. I know the holy Triforce of Zelda games, Hotel Mario, wouldn't exist because Nintendo would have been diving into 3DO making games for that. But that didn't happen. So you had a lot of problems with stuff like that, and really had issues on all ends. But Nintendo could have. Sega probably could have done it more than Nintendo. Sega had, I think, wanted to do it. I think Sega wanted to dive in and get rid of the hardware costs because it all was. He was like, hey, Studio was like, hey, we have no cost on games, no publisher cost. You create games for us, all you want. And of course, we all know how it's going to end. When Sega and Nintendo stopped things like that, and then Studio owned everything, then they start charging money for people and making some money. But they have no little of any cost fees for making games for the system. So it wasn't like, oh my god, they're going to cost whatever. No, it was pretty much no very little cost that was being transponded to Nintendo or Sega or any other company that was going to make games only for it if they were going to be on board. They didn't, obviously, so some people say it's good, it's a bad idea. For Sega, a lot of people said it's a bad idea. They went gracefully away. They wouldn't have a problem with Sega Saturn, they wouldn't have a problem with Dreamcast being as good as it was, but not being good enough. That's Place 2. And you would have had Sega probably would be making games today, probably a lot better and stronger than they are now. So there's many different variations of what would have happened. But I think the Panasonic or the 3DO itself earned the place in my Flashback Friday video. This is season 3. This is episode 3 of season 1. I will make sure I get you guys more information on what I'm doing. I just did it on the fly. Like I said, I'm on vacation, so I'm not really having to work all night and come home and do something. So, guys, that's my video, guys. Really, the Panasonic 3DO is a mystery. It's a misunderstood hardware that could have been really good if companies gave a damn about it. EA was into it because the person who actually owned half 3DO owned half of EA. So, essentially, there, it was interesting. So, you could have Titanfall 1 and 2 on this thing. Of course, how it would have gone against online play. Of course, the controllers were all daisy chained off the first one, so one controller port, the daisy chained off that controller, you put the control port here. The control port was only one, and you had one there, and the daisy chained off the other one. Kind of silly concept. They probably would have had, probably, better variations, maybe 4 or 3 control ports, and maybe side control ports, or maybe multi-tap or whatever. But yeah, that was my video. Hope you liked it. Like, subscribe down below. When you're down there, notifications on, ring the bell. Like, subscribe my channel. My gamer tag Crisis169. CRISIS 169. Alright, you guys later. Peace out.